What is good, everybody? It is your girl Nia, TheVideoGamHer, and I'm coming to you guys with another dedicated video. I know I haven't done one of these in a long time. I generally stick to live streaming my opinions, or live streaming me playing some video games and hanging out with you guys, or sticking to Team Red Talks Nintendo. But today is going to be a dedicated video, and I want to talk to you guys about something real quick, okay? So this is freestyle off the dome, just having a conversation with you all. So, as you guys know, Nintendo revealed Nintendo Labo on Thursday, I believe, and they pretty much lit up the internet. Like, they released this wacky trailer about something that we never saw coming, and this is kind of Nintendo's thing. They always come up with all of these really wacky ideas, and just it blows everybody's mind, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you think it's just extremely weird. They just have a knack for this type of thing, and to be honest, it's personally one of the reasons why I love Nintendo so much. So, to those of you guys who have been living under a rock, basically the Nintendo Labo is a build set that is marketed specifically for children, where the children will build these contraptions made of cardboard, and these cardboard pieces, which they have called Toy-Cons, will be interactive and will also utilize your Nintendo Switch device for specific tasks. So for just to kind of give you guys a short form, remember back in January of 2017 when Nintendo first revealed the Nintendo Switch and everything that it could do, Koizumi had this one little segment during the presentation where he talked about the functionality inside of the Joy-Cons, the fact that the Joy-Cons have an IR camera and can sense death and the shape of things right in front of the IR camera. And they also talked about the HD rumble functionality and all of the things that are a part of the Joy-Cons. A lot of people look at the Joy-Cons and they think that they're just these simple little Wiimote and nunchuck type of devices. But in fact, there's a lot of tech inside of the Joy-Cons that aren't currently being utilized yet outside of maybe HD Rumble for certain games. But there's a lot of functionality inside of those little Joy-Cons that are going to be used for the Nintendo Labo Toy-Cons. So one of the things that we actually talked about on Team Red Talks Nintendo on Wednesday that I felt was pretty interesting was the piano. So there's one of the little Toy-Cons that makes the shape of a piano. You put the Joy-Con inside with the IR camera in it, and the IR camera is able to sense what type of keys that you're pressing because of the reflective tape on the underside of the keys. So that is one of the ways in which the Joy-Con is going to be used in conjunction with Nintendo Labo. And it basically gives kids not only a way to, you know, practice their motor skills and just expanding their brains, but it's another way that kids can use their Nintendo Switch devices outside of just the traditional way of playing the Nintendo Switch. And then in my opinion, as simplistic as Nintendo Labo is, even though I feel like it's a little pricey to a degree, the concept in itself is so simple, but it's also so brilliant at the same time. And it also gives the Nintendo Switch tech purpose, because I remember, you know, when they first announced the Joy-Cons and they talked about the price, I felt that the prices of the Joy-Con were a little bit too expensive. But seeing how what they told us back in January 2017, which seemed like a needless feature, actually reared its head just this week with the Nintendo Labo, I felt like, man, that's really good timing. You know, they didn't tell us the whole story in January, and everything about the Nintendo Switch is kind of unfolding as time progresses. And that's really kind of the topic that I wanted to talk about with you all today. Nintendo's timing with the Nintendo Switch has been absolutely brilliant. I don't know if it's because, you know, they got a new marketing exec with Doug Bowser, who started working with Nintendo like at the very end of the Wii U lifespan. I don't know if it's because, you know, Kimishima is a business-minded man and he has made things, you know, he has set things up in a strategic order in which he feels like it makes the most business sense. And don't get it twisted, I know that the Nintendo Switch is Iwata's brainchild. The Nintendo Switch is something that President Iwata wanted to present if he were still alive and well. But I think that the way that they've been presenting the Nintendo Switch, it just seems a lot more business focused in a way that makes more sense, not only on the business side of things, but also on the consumer side of things, and also in a way that also pleases the core gamer. I'm gonna give you guys a timeline, right? So back in about 2016 and maybe about 2 years prior, we had these rumors about this NX system. It was this mysterious Nintendo project, the next console in the line of consoles, and everybody wanted Nintendo to talk about it. By that time, gamers were restless over the Wii U. They wanted something new, they wanted some information, and they wanted it in a timely manner. October 2016 comes, we get a short 3 to 4 minute trailer about the Nintendo Switch and how it's a hybrid system that you can dock or that you can take with you on the go. In January of 2017, we get the official Nintendo Switch presentation where they gave us more information about the console and where they told us what type of games to expect on the console. They also told us that in March of that same year, we would be able to get our hands on the Nintendo Switch. So literally 2 months after the fact, we would be able to purchase the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch had the best launch year that we've seen from Nintendo and pretty much any other console manufacturer in a very long time. 2017 was a beast year for Nintendo. I mean, 2017 was a beast year in general for gaming, but especially for Nintendo. 2017 was a beastly year. Fast forward to now, we hear about Nintendo Labo. And the reason why I say that the timing is so great is because in the past, one of the things that I always felt like Nintendo did wrongly was that they tried to capture everybody in the same net all at the same time. With the Wii, starting with the Wii. During the Wii era, they tried so hard to focus on that casual market that to a degree I kind of felt like they muddied the message that this was a device that was also for core fans. Because believe it or not, although there was a lot of casual games on the Wii and a lot of gimmicky games on the Wii, there are also a lot of core games on the Wii that appealed to people like me at that time. During the Wii U, they practically did the same thing. They tried to make it more of a core gamer system because at that time they were trying to make a system that was a little bit more powerful than what we had already had at the time, which was the PS3 and the 360. But of course, you guys already know how that went. The Wii U wasn't a very future-proof system. Let's just keep it real. And it kind of went by the wayside because not only because of the tech inside it, because it kind of was kind of in the middle, if that makes sense, in regards to technology at the time. Then it also didn't have the sales and the marketing behind it that Nintendo could have put behind it. They just didn't market it the way that it should have been marketed, right? And then you have the Switch. When they first announced the Switch, yeah, there were some typical Nintendo things about the Switch that would make it seem like a quote-unquote gimmick. But except for this time with the Switch, the gimmick is one that not only makes sense, but it's one that gamers are already accustomed to seeing. If you're a Nintendo gamer especially, you're already accustomed to both Nintendo's home console side of things, and you're also accustomed to Nintendo's handheld side of things. So when we saw the Nintendo Switch, it just looked like another Nintendo handheld console that you could also play on your TV. And I think for the most part, that's a gimmick that most people can get behind. You can either choose to dock it like you would a normal console, or you could play it on the go just like you did with your 3DS, like you did with your DS, like you did with your GBA. So it wasn't anything that was too out there. It wasn't anything that was too out of the realm of possibilities or the scope of what core gamers are accustomed to seeing, right? But with the Nintendo Switch, they did something that's very specific. Something that people, I don't really feel, give them enough credit for. When they first announced the Nintendo Switch, after the whole Joy-Con thing, which was kind of, you know, whatever, they announced the type of games that would be coming to the system. They announced Zelda was going to be on the Nintendo Switch as well, and that Zelda was going to be a launch release. They told us that Shin Megami Tensei 5 was coming to the Switch. You know what I mean? And they told us that Fire Emblem was coming to the Switch literally some weeks or something after that January event. So we knew by that time that those games are coming along with other core Nintendo games that we love. So they started off the Switch with the message that, hey, this is a device for our core fans. They didn't focus on no casual stuff. They didn't focus on the gimmicky stuff. They brought us the games of 2017 and they wholeheartedly delivered to bringing us games at a pace and a release time frame that suits pretty much anybody. We got at least one hardcore dedicated Nintendo exclusive a month, and then we also got a lot of heavy hitting indies and a lot of decent third party games in between that time. Now they're telling us about the other side of things to catch that more blue ocean market, and that's gonna be the kid friendly stuff with Nintendo Labo. In the past, Nintendo would have shown us Nintendo Labo at the same time that they introduced the Switch. But this time, they didn't do that. They made it a point to get their core first before branching out with that wider net. So I just wanted to come out and say that, man. Nintendo's timing has been super, super legit. So let me know how you feel about this in the comments below, man. I'm just really impressed with what Nintendo's doing right now. And I really hope that they can continue this momentum throughout the rest of the Nintendo Switch life cycle. So if you want to hear more from me, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Or if you've been watching me for a little bit, but you haven't decided to hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at TheVideoGamHer. I'm also on Twitch at Nia Loves Ninty. And of course, you can always come back here to my YouTube channel for all of my live streams, kick it with me, and watch me play a game or something like that. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.